That was Bill Burr on The Tonight Show on March 18, 2025, in the middle of a 2-minute scorched earth rant about billionaire tech oligarchs.
Positive time, Jimmy.
Yeah, it really is.
Billionaires are not happy having $1 billion.
The man sitting across from him, Jimmy Fallon, host of the most historically important franchise in late-night television, the inheritor of Johnny Carson's chair, sat there frozen, laughing too high, clapping too loud, whispering, "Oh my God," like he had walked into the wrong room. And when the rant finally ended, his response was 3 words. We are getting to those 3 words. They are the most embarrassing piece of late-night television produced in the last decade. For 70 years, this format was supposed to be the room where comedians dragged the powerful out from behind their PR shields and made them answer. On March 18th, that era of broadcast television was officially declared dead. Bill Burr did the work. Jimmy Fallon brought the network holding company. If you are new here, this is the place that names the names and lays out the receipts. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the next chapter. The interview did not start there. NBC producers had built the segment as a standard sanitized celebrity promo. Bill Burr was on tour for his new Hulu special, Drop Dead Years, plus a Broadway run as Dave Moss and David Mamet's Glengarry Glen Ross. The opening of the segment was actually warm. Burr told a charming, low-stakes anecdote about a deranged audience member at his Broadway show. Fallon laughed. They moved on to the title of the special. Burr explained that Drop Dead Years is the existential premise of being 56. Too young to die of natural causes, but not too young to just drop dead. They talked about aging. He referenced his wife of 12 years, Nia Renee Hill. He sounded almost philosophical. Fallon, doing the host's traditional job, tried to compliment him. He summarized Burr's outlook with one word. He called Burr's commentary positive. That word, that single word, was the trigger. The time code rolled to about 6 minutes and 16 seconds, and Bill Burr seized the opening. What came next was a 90-second methodical demolition of the modern tech billionaire class. Burr started broad. Quote, "Well, it's a positive time, Jimmy. Billionaires are not happy having $1 billion.
All of
So
these years.
positive, yeah, that's so great.
Well, it's a positive time, Jimmy.
Yeah, it really is.
Billionaires are not happy having $1 billion.
The audience laughed. Fallon laughed. Acceptable territory. Then Burr narrowed the target.
Why does Elon Musk dress like he just got out of a Hot Topic?
Quote, "Why does Elon Musk dress like he just got out of a Hot Topic? I'm so sick of that guy trying to rewrite his origin story like he was Matthew McConaughey pulling into the high school. Like you were a nerd, nobody banged you, and now you have hair plugs in your laminated face." The audience went wild. Fallon clapped, then exhaled, audibly, "Oh my God." Burr, undeterred, expanded the critique. Quote, "Everybody is afraid of these nerds. I don't get it. My whole life, feminists were focused on frat boys and guys with their hats on backwards, and they left the nerds alone. And now look at them. They got people wearing adult diapers, driving 18-wheelers, trying to get Crocs to the box store on time. They're horrible, heartless people." That last beat, the adult diapers detail, is not a Burr exaggeration. It is a documented and reported labor reality of Amazon and Tesla-era logistics warehouses. Workers have been reported to wear adult diapers because they cannot afford bathroom breaks under quota pressure. Burr was not telling a joke. He was reading the indictment. And here is where the architecture of Jimmy Fallon's evasion becomes a kind of grim performance art. Frame by frame, he is doing exactly one thing, making sure no piece of what Bill Burr is saying lands on him. When Burr says billionaires are unhappy, Fallon laughs at a high pitch. That is the broadcaster signal that says, "Hey, audience, this is meant to be safely funny, not genuinely hostile." When Burr lands the Hot Topic line, Fallon claps. Loud, aggressive. Clapping fills dead air. Clapping inflates room energy. Clapping buys the host milliseconds to figure out how dangerous the next sentence is going to be. When Burr drops the effing nerd line, Fallon does not laugh. He exhales. Oh my God. That exhale is not agreement. That exhale is the first sentence of his legal alibi. He is signaling to NBC executives, to Comcast lawyers, to the FCC, and to Elon Musk himself that he is a spectator, not a co-signer. When Burr describes warehouse workers in adult diapers, actual logistics labor abuse, Fallon laughs. He is a multi-millionaire sitting on a desk built on decades of working-class viewership, laughing at an accurate description of brutalized workers. That is the entire late-night class disconnect compressed into one shot. And when Burr finishes the rant by asking, with sincere nostalgia, "Do you remember when 1 week's pay paid your rent?" Fallon answers with a single deflating, sarcastic word. Quote, "Yes, not engagement, not pushback, not a follow-up question, a surrender. This is not how the format used to work." Johnny Carson, who the modern Tonight Show inherits its license from, used his desk during Watergate to nightly destroy the Nixon administration's public credibility. He understood the host had a duty to the cultural mood. David Letterman built a 40-year career on refusing to coddle the powerful. He made network presidents and senators visibly uncomfortable on camera. Even today, in his post-network era, Letterman engages in more substantive conflict with his guests than anything currently airing on broadcast television. Jon Stewart, when he was active in 2008 and again in his 2024 partial return, weaponized comedy against Wall Street and Congress in ways that materially shifted public opinion. The late-night chair was a chair. It sat. It pushed back. It demanded answers. On March 18, 2025, that chair was empty. And here is the part that makes Fallon's freeze-up unforgivable. Bill Burr's rant was not improvised. It was the visible peak of a months-long ideological campaign. Earlier in 2025, Burr appeared on NPR's Fresh Air and called Musk an idiot directly to Terry Gross. He went further. He referred to Musk as, quote, "evidently a Nazi," end quote, a direct reference to the controversial stiff-arm gesture Musk made at the January 2025 inauguration that critics globally characterized as a fascist salute. And on his own Monday morning podcast, Burr had been claiming that the X platform was algorithmically throttling his account in retaliation for the criticism. He had a thesis. He had been building it for months. He brought it to network television. The thesis was simple. The American public has been sleepwalking past a small group of nerds who, in his words, eat raw almonds and compete with each other to have the biggest infinity pool while the rest of us suffer. He was speaking the part out loud. The chair across from him was supposed to be the place where someone said, "Talk to me about that." The chair was empty. And here is the receipt that buries the host. The clip went viral within hours. Comment sections, Reddit threads, TikTok edits. None of them were arguing about whether Burr's claims were correct. They were all keying in on Fallon. Audiences universally noted his, quote, "atrocious fake laugh." Multiple viewers pointed out that the network camera edits seemed to be actively cutting away from Fallon's reactions to protect him from his own face. Mainstream entertainment outlets piled on. For every viewer, the question stopped being whether Burr was right. The question became why Jimmy Fallon was so visibly terrified. The public consensus was unanimous. Burr brought the substance, Fallon brought the cowardice, and the camera operators knew it before the host did. And then we get to the smoking gun. The most damning 40 seconds of late-night television produced in the modern era. Bill Burr has just delivered a coherent, sustained, factually accurate critique of the most powerful private citizen on the planet.
Driving 18-wheelers trying to get Crocs to the box store on time. They're horrible, heartless people.
He has named the labor abuses. He has named the political weaponization. He has named the nostalgia for an America that paid its workers a living wage. The cameras are rolling. The job of the host is to engage. Jimmy Fallon's full response is this. At 7 minutes and 37 seconds, he says, quote, "Yes." That is the entirety of his engagement with the labor critique. Then at 7 minutes and 50 seconds, he turns to Bill Burr and infantilizes the entire monologue. He calls it, quote, "so cute, so cute."
You had the money.
So cute.
He took a working-class manifesto, an indictment of oligarchy, a critique of brutalized labor, and called it cute, the way you would describe a child's drawing. And then he closes it down. Quote, "The first part, I was being nice. Now I'm being me. You know how to do you better than anyone." He throws to a pre-approved Hulu clip. Segment cuts to commercial. That is the entire structure. Sarcastic agreement, infantilization, cut to tape. It is a corporate neutralization protocol executed in real time on national television. The host is no longer the audience surrogate. The host is the corporate firewall. And here is why none of this is just personal cowardice. Jimmy Fallon, on March 18, 2025, was sitting on the most regulatorily exposed chair in late-night television. His parent company is Comcast. Comcast's chairman had received a public letter on February 11, 2025, A month before the broadcast, from FCC Chairman Brendan Carr, launching a formal investigation into NBC Universal's diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Carr called those programs, quote, odious to a free people. The FCC was actively searching for a pretext to penalize Comcast, and Elon Musk, the man Bill Burr was attacking, was not just a private citizen. As of March of 2025, Musk was the co-director of Donald Trump's newly created Department of Government Efficiency. He was firing federal workers. He was gutting agencies. The CEO of his ex-platform, Linda Yaccarino, had spent 12 years as the chairwoman of global advertising at NBC Universal before joining him. If Fallon needed proof of what happens when a late-night host crosses this configuration, the industry handed him 2 case studies. In July of 2025, CBS canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert 4 days after Colbert called a $16 million Paramount Trump settlement on national television a, quote, big fat bribe.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. Earlier this month, the parent company of CBS agreed to pay $16 million to settle a $20 billion lawsuit brought by President Donald Trump, who objected to the way CBS News' 60 Minutes.
Paramount was at that exact moment seeking FCC approval for its merger with Skydance. After the cancellation, Trump publicly gloated on Truth Social, declaring he was thrilled and warning that Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel were, quote, next on the chopping block. 2 months later, ABC suspended Jimmy Kimmel Live after Brendan Carr threatened broadcast affiliates over Kimmel's monologue. Carr's public quote was, "We can do this the easy way or the hard way." Fallon was not a coward. Fallon was a hostage. There is one more piece. In September of 2016, at the height of the presidential campaign, Fallon playfully tousled Donald Trump's hair on the same Tonight Show desk. The backlash was apocalyptic. Critics accused him of normalizing a dangerous demagogue. The show lost over a fifth of its audience and permanently surrendered the late-night ratings crown to Stephen Colbert. Fallon admitted afterward that he had been, quote, devastated and depressed. He set himself a new operating philosophy: stay apolitical. Keep his head down. Make sure the jokes are funny. When Bill Burr dragged class warfare onto the stage in March of 2025, Fallon was looking down the barrel of 2016 all over again. The point is not that Jimmy Fallon should have agreed with Bill Burr on every claim. He could have pushed back. He could have defended Musk. He could have argued the labor data. Any of those would have been engagement. Any of those would have been the chair doing its job. Instead, Fallon chose the third option, the one that lets the host signal absolutely nothing while the guest does all the work. Sarcasm without conviction, laughter without endorsement, cuteness as the verdict on an indictment of brutalized labor. Late night was supposed to be the cultural commons, the room where what could not be said in polite company was finally said. On March 18th, that room sold itself to the holding company. Bill Burr brought the truth. Jimmy Fallon brought the corporate shield. And the question that should haunt all of us is this: how many more Burrs, how many more truth-tellers, before there is no chair left to say the thing in front of? Tell me what you think in the comments. And if you want to see exactly how deep this rot in Hollywood actually goes, watch my full breakdown of Cat Williams' bombshell Hollywood allegations next.